Welcome in, everybody. It's another episode of the DNVR Rapids Podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. Happy USMNT supporter.
You should be happy.
Yeah.
They played a crappy team, but they dominated a crappy team.
Yeah. They did. They really did. It was a fun night last night, Gold Cup wise. Fun week, Gold Cup wise. We're going to dig into a bunch of that, Canada and the U.S.
And Mexico.
Dominating
Honduras. Let's go.
And we're also going to talk a little Western Conference transactions. There's some goal scorers coming our way. Little, does it help us forecast how the Rapids compete in this transfer window coming up, or does it signal maybe where some players might be going outbound, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're going to talk a little, who cares? We'll get to it later. This is my guy.
I'm Yahir too.
I was going to say, joining me today is Super Yahir.
Super as I can be. I thought it was Friday, so I'm not that happy because I really thought it was Friday.
We never go on Fridays.
Again, it was more like as soon as I found out it wasn't Friday and there wasn't a Susie show, I was really disappointed for the day.
Yeah. It's tough.
Not having a Susie show on a Thursday does fuck up your life a little bit.
A little bit. Shout out Susie Hunter. Big Rapid supporter. Big time.
She's a Pitts woman.
Yeah. All right. Where do you want to start with this? I'm thinking let's talk Moise Bombito, our guy. Rapids' third pick from the last MLS Super Draft. Played 64 minutes, including a start in the defensive midfield for Team Canada in their Gold Cup group game against Guadalupe.
Yeah, Guadalupe,
as they kept saying, which really threw me off.
That is such a weird way to just say Lupe.
Is that the French way? Because they are French.
I just go Lupe.
They don't even have their own flag, I realized. They just have the French flag.
What if it's just the same thing?
That's a good point. It really threw me off. I think it was Twellman on the call who kept saying that.
Also, how do you feel about Twellman before we get going?
I like him.
I'm like 50-50.
He's fine.
He'll win me over for a game, and then the next game he'll lose me completely.
That's fair. I mean, I don't think there's any really good American commentators on the level of like a Drury or anything like that.
Yeah, so, most of them. Most of them do come from English and the British Islands and all that fun stuff.
But our guy Moise in a 2-2, really exciting 2-2 game.
Which also Canada, what the hell?
I mean, Canada really blew it.
You're going against you're going against Guada, and you can't even get it.
Yeah, which actually, I do think that maybe they were talking about it on Twitter and on the broadcast. It's like some of these French islands, because they just have French passports. These kids that are big time soccer prospects are really, it's easy paperwork wise to get them into French academies and stuff like that. So their soccer talent's probably a little better than you would think. But either way, Canada 2-2, Cavallini in the 49th, an own goal in the 70th. And then Canada returned the favor for the equalizer in stoppage time with an own goal. But Moise Bombito, do you want to go ahead and pull up those first stats there, super producer Alyssa? We have, these are just, the other one. Boom, perfect. Okay, so, I don't want to just read out all these stats, but what stands out to you? He played 64 minutes in the defensive midfield. Is where you yourself said he should be playing this whole time.
We were talking about this right before the show, and I'm like, I feel so vindicated because this is what I wanted. I brought this up about 3 weeks ago when they played Columbus, and he was attacking that midfield. When I look at these stats immediately, the first thing that comes up to me are going to be the accurate passes and the accurate long balls. 82%, even against a lower team, is really good for a midfielder, especially if he was just dominating that role. It just tells me that he's finding the right pass and getting it to the right people at the right time. And same thing with long balls. Long balls are one of the hardest things to learn in soccer, trying to get them to the right plays, the right timing. They're just a little bit more they can vary a little bit more. So the accurate long balls, 4 out of 4 is great. I think that just means that he's finding the right guy at the right time and being able to get it over there. actually pretty good.
I think when you see a kind of physical guy like Bombito, where it's so obvious that he can run faster, jump higher, be stronger, you kind of forget that, like, I think he's just interesting in terms of like what you would expect him to be good at. And long balls from a guy like that, especially a guy who doesn't seem to have a ton of on the ball skill yet. You know what I mean? He can be a little, how do we describe him? Like a newborn baby deer, kind of, like still kind of figuring out where to run. And
for sure, a Bambi style kind of.
Yeah, and kind of figure out where he is. That 4-for-4 on long balls is just really nice to see. The other thing I really liked was that recovery stat there, which is 5 recoveries defensively. The way he covers ground from the attacking third on a counter back is just amazing to watch. It's one of my favorite things to watch. I'm going to be watching it for the rest of the season, hopefully starting. I don't know. I thought he had a good game. I think there were moments where he could have made himself a little more inserted into the attack.
A lot more available, maybe just actually being open a little bit more.
Well, yeah, let's actually talk about that. Will you throw up the next one there, Alyssa? Thank you.
Hey, guys, it's me.
So the heat map on the left is offensively, on the right is defensively. He covered ground like crazy. Offensively, he pretty much stuck into his role there in the midfield. And on the right, you see him all directions defensively. You see him pressing both sides, both wings, back in his own box. I just thought it was really impressive from him.
And this is the biggest thing. And I was telling you before the show, my biggest fear with Bombi is that he might want to push up farther up. Mm-hmm. And I think he has the recovery speed to come back and help out and do all that stuff. But my fear is that he might want to be really up there and maybe forget about the defensive side of the center defensive midfield.
For the most part, he held into his 2 zones right in front of the box defensively. That's where he spent most of his time.
He did a great job of just keeping that role, not moving out too much, which is what I want to see from somebody that plays that role. Mm-hmm. Defensively, we've seen it with the Rapids. There's times that he's on the left and then he ends up at the right helping out Keegan, and then he comes all the way back to recover.
Full speed the other way.
And that's the best thing about him, that he is not, and I mean this in the best way, and I mean this in such a good way. He's a try-hard trying to do everything right. Yeah. And that's what you want in sports. You want try-hards. You don't want guys that are like lacking and doesn't have. He has that mentality that's like, where I'm needed is where I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm. Right. And can he keep that contained enough, right, and not act too much on that impulse? Or is he just, can he guess right enough times, basically? So I guess the question is, would you put him into that 6 role?
100%. I wouldn't even think about it.
The next Rapids game that he's available for, would you start him in that 6 role?
Actually, I regret that a little bit. I wouldn't do it immediately. And the only reason I wouldn't is because who plays that left back? I love Beta, but Bombi has one.
Galvan will be back. You could do 3 back.
No, they're going with
2 wings. Well, no. Hear me out.
Okay. Let's see.
All right, so you're full 3. Maxo, Lawless, Wilson. All right, Maxu, Lawless, Wilson across the back.
Yeah.
Galvan, Keegan, and then they can really push up because Moise can kind of make it 4 back from that role.
See, I get it. I do understand that, like wanting to have more. I like the 4 back. I think they found something with the 4 back
with Lawless with Keegan, Lawless, Maxu, or Wilson, Maxu, Bombito on the left.
Exactly, and I think I've really liked that 4 back. I would want to see him in Ronan and maybe a Costa when they come back, maybe a Bassett. Really try to see how that looks in that midfield.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really fun. Maybe you'd let Ronan be a double 8 with Bassett, and they can just be box to box, both of them. Yeah,
so maybe if he doesn't get the start, subbing in for an Acosta or a Ralph, or a Leyva, and holding down that back line to allow guys like Keegan to get crosses in, and allow Galvan or Sam or whoever's on the left to push up.
Exactly, and I think just that 4 back should be the way that the Rapids should be thinking, and I think that's the way they're thinking. It feels a little bit like a lost season. And when they started the year, they started with the 4 back, and you can really tell they wanted to play a certain way. They just didn't have the talent level to play that way. So they had to adjust to whatever they had, and they were good for a good 10 games.
Yeah.
They were solid, not great, not good, just good enough. Not to be the worst team in the MLS.
Yeah.
I think they see it to last season. There's nothing at the end of the road for them. So I think they're going to try and just push for that new role, kind of push for what else can, trying to get more reps under the new system that they want to adapt. Sure. And I think playing Bombito at the 6 is the right thing to do. My only fear is the left back. Who do you put back there? Maybe Beta. Maybe you go get another guy. Because with Bombito, it feels like they finally
maybe
found
there's a loan deal out there or something.
Exactly. It feels like they finally found that guy in Bombito that can play the left back. That hole that's been missing since Sammy Vines, really. Mm-hmm. But if you want to optimize Bombito's skills, which is being lengthy, being quick, and having some good vision and trying to push the play up quickly, maybe you just put him at the 6 and let him cook there. And I think that's
what are you worried about? You're the worst team in soccer.
And
you can do whatever you want now. The chains are free.
And that's
you can literally try anything because we already have the worst case scenario playing out. So who cares? Throw him out there.
And you're probably not going to get rid of Frazier or Porig.
Nope.
So let him adapt.
Doubt it. Yeah, doubt it.
Honestly, and we'll get this more into the second section,
a
segment about like who should be gone, who should stay.
Right.
But like maybe even Keegan shouldn't be here. Maybe you put a Seb Anderson to try to get him more adapted because he's younger. Maybe you get rid of a Wilson and Lawless and let Michael Edwards do something.
Right.
You know, like maybe it's time to start like just see what you have, and then next year you can go look for more people. You know, go look for higher end veterans that can help you, more talent that can get you to the next level.
Right.
And when I see Bombito, and this is why I wanted to play him at the 6, if I had a wish list of who the Rapids should be targeting during transfer windows, it would be a 6, it would be a 9, and it would probably be a winger. Those would be my,
especially when you think about who could be outbound. Those things really stand out.
Exactly. And maybe a left back. Those would be my 3 wish candidates, like the 3 wish positions I would want.
I like that.
So maybe you can fill that position at the 6 with Bombito, and you don't have to worry about that. So you just have to worry about a left back now. Then you go get another winger and a striker, and maybe that's the way you improve this team for the next couple of years.
Right.
Because then you'd be way younger with the midfield of Bassett, Ronan, and Bombito.
God, that's young, but it's talented.
Ronan is what, 25? Bombito's 23.
24 or 5, yeah.
And Bassett's 21.
Yeah.
So that would be an average age of like 23, 24.
That's great.
That's a great place to be at.
Yeah.
And so like in the next 3 to 4 years, if you want to develop that midfield and have one of the best midfields in the MLS, I think that's the way you do it.
Yeah. What do you see his ceiling as? Like who like we've all thought about Bombito's long term and the impact he can have. Is there someone you would want to sort of model his game after?
And I think you saw my computer, and that's why you asked for the most part, because I was just looking up his stats.
Come on, man! You didn't have to tell them that. They wouldn't have known. They would have thought I was just good at this.
We're taking off the veil a little bit.
I keep forgetting that the comments are on this side.
What up, Matthew?
Matthew, Logan, Dustin. What's up, guys? Elliot, yo, what's going on? Throw a like on there if you can.
Not if you can. Do it.
You can.
We beg of you.
If you can.
And his Canadian counterpart, his Canadian teammate, is Malcone.
That's a good one.
He lengthy. They kind of even look alike. Lengthy, tall, very agile, quick. Yeah. They play very similar, and they both play the 6 and play that midfield role.
I like that.
That's the way I look at him. I look at him more of that kind of role. Somebody that can really recover really quick, has the vision, get to his spots when he needs to.
Mm-hmm. I love
find
that.
the open man. And again, the Malcone is younger, and he came from the academy. He wasn't a super draft pick.
Right.
He came. He's 21, 2 years younger than Moise. But he did just get sold to Watford for $10 million.
Yeah, I mean Watford.
They're in the championship right now.
A very good chance of getting promoted next season. I think that's a great call. Any other things from that game you saw? Anything else you want to hit on? We could talk about Bobby for the next 20 episodes probably if we wanted to. That's our guy. This is a Bombi pod.
No, he's not going to get sold to anywhere else.
He'll surpass the level of the squad and we'll be forced to move into a contending. Okay, look, Logan, I just don't think the tape right now has anyone drooling over him. I think obviously they see the physical profile, but what they see on film is him running into people, like out of position, able to recover, but out of position. I think he's probably going to need 2,000 to 5,000 minutes at the MLS level.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? Before we even have an idea of his market, then probably another 2,000 to 5,000 before you see a big move.
And the other thing really with Bombi is he was a super draft pick.
Right.
Like he wasn't a guy like that came out from the academy.
Well, and not just a super draft pick, Toronto's super draft pick.
Exactly. And like the thing is, I can see him playing for Toronto, but like,
sure,
how much are they willing to give up? Is it going to be enough for the Rapids to let him go? Like,
and they already gave you that pick in the, I would call it failed Mark Anthony K trade right now.
Exactly. And it is like, I really do think it's because they haven't won. They haven't done anything. So when I look at Bombi, like, yeah, my only fear is that he might be too good to go to Europe. Well, let's say he does become an all-star talent in the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah. He'll be 26. How many European clubs are going to be knocking? He might. I mean,
I would say, probably most Belgian teams, maybe a shot in like Turkey or, or the Championship, maybe Bundesliga 2 or lower Bundesliga clubs. Because he can play such a versatile position on that back line where, they had a back three, 2 wing backs, and then he was at the 6. You see a lot of strange positions like that in Germany. They really are. I like it. I think of it as like
the Zinchenko role.
Well, sort of. Yeah, I think of it as kind of like they kind of play air raid offense over there. You know, they try all these weird formations and throw guys in different positions. So I think he could really fit in. Like a club like like a Werder or Schalke. Of course, I would want him there. But you know what I'm saying? Like a team that might stay up, might not have to sell him on for
kind
assets.
of mid to lower end of the table. But that's the thing. 26-year-old. At that point that he becomes an all-star, he might become a Kellen Acosta. Mm-hmm. He might become a really good, great player that at the end of the day might just be like, you know what, you're more valuable to us than the 10 million that we can get for you, than the 5 million, 3 million that we can get for you.
Oh man, that means they sold a lot of players.
It does. But
for a bunch of money.
But no, like it does mean like maybe you're more valuable to us because we build a squad around you. You're our centerpiece. You're our Jack Price of the future.
Oh God. Oh, I'm so excited.
And that's the thing. Maybe they're just like, you know what? You're more valuable to us as a player than you are as a money sign. And that's the thing that we got to realize when we talk about Bombito. Right. I do understand that, hey, he might go to Europe. Other MLS teams are going to call. But what do the Rapids want to do? If this could be your building piece for years to come.
Him and Maxu love playing with each other.
Exactly.
That's like a known thing.
And then you got a 24-year-old Ronan, a 21, 22-year-old Bassett.
You could really build something nice.
And then you got Galvan, who's only 21, 22 as well.
Especially if you could keep him in that spine, right? So then you have whatever keeper you land on, Maxu, Bombito, Ronan Bassett, Rubio, or Striker X, whatever. Anyways, I think we might be getting ahead of ourselves as we do every conversation about Bombito.
Which, I mean, the team is bad. We got to speculate about what's the future, you know?
It's way more fun than reality, baby.
And we already talk about all the shitty games constantly.
Speaking of, we're going to talk about the U.S. versus, what is it, St. Kitts and Nevis?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that in just 1 second. But first, we got to talk about by far the coolest sponsor this company has ever had in any capacity. Just kidding. They're all great. We love our partners. But we're talking about Kind Love, my guy.
I love drugs.
Well, not drugs.
They are drugs, but the good kind.
LLDs, as D-Line calls them. Low level.
Low level D.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Kind Love is excited to be an official partner of DNVR and support another local brand. We love the Kind Love cannabis and always get a consistent, great experience when we are high on Kind Love. Quality, integrity, consistency, variety, and safety is what they are all about. One of the first dispensaries in Colorado, established in 2010, known for cultivating some of the highest quality cannabis in the state, authentic genetics, patient grow techniques, and one of the highest quality brands. They are fully integrated from seed to sale. That's their own genetics. They control the whole grow process and packaging. This is straight up, this is farm to table right here. This is like
And you can really taste the farm in
This is
in a good
integrity,
way.
baby.
This is actually very true. Actually, I love this take. If Tegrity was a real weed place, it would be Kind Love. I love this take, and it's completely true. I always wanted to smoke Tegrity weed, and now I get to with Kind Love.
They recently launched a game-changing new product in the industry known as Turbo Core. Let me tell you, Turbo Core is awesome. Turbo Core is a 100 milligram stick that looks exactly like a toothpick. It's about this big. A full spectrum cannabis concentrate designed with a pointed tip so you can easily slide it into any joint, blunt, or cigarette and instantly infuse it. It is also vegan, natural, no chemical processing whatsoever. They utilize a patented process called microencapsulation. I know what that is for sure. This is what prevents the concentrate from getting sticky or messy and helps the overall burn temperature, creating a smoother, more pleasant experience. They just launched their new infused pre-roll line, Turbo Joint. Turbo Joint.
I was thinking Turbo Time with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Turbo Joint.
With Arnold in that movie. I'm all for it.
They use the exact same technology as they do on their core. Turbo Joint is 0.7 grams of bud combined with 0.3 grams turbo keef. It's ridiculously potent and burns significantly smoother than our other infused pre-rolls on the market. It won't melt or be messy in your car this summer. It burns slower and is much more flavorful. Turbo Core, Turbo Joints, and Kind Love Flower are sold in more than 100 stores around the state. So shout out to our friends at Kind Love. You can use DNVR promo code. You get 25% off. Is that right?
Yeah, that is very true. Like that's a great deal.
That's crazy.
If you've ever bought drugs legally, you know how expensive they are.
LLDs. All right. Thank you, Kind Love. We appreciate you having on. We also have to talk about, the true legends of the Rapids podcast ad read game. Illegal Pete's, dude. Bam! It's patio season, baby. This episode of DNVR Rapids is brought to you by Illegal Pete's. It is your go-to spot this summer. Yeah, I have one question for you. Are you ready for the longest happy hour in Denver?
No, but that's just because I'm a weakling. But
sure,
if I was stronger, Illegal Pete's would be my way to go.
Correct. 3 to 8 p.m. every day at all 12 Illegal Pete's locations. That's 5 hours of all the usual fan favorite deals. Stop by after work. Enjoy a few extra margaritas on the patio at happy hour price. There's no better way to kick off your summer. And don't forget to stop by Illegal. Oh, I keep reading this thing. It's still in here. It makes me so sad. It says stop by on Nuggets game days. It's still in the ad copy.
Game days are indeed over, and the Nuggets are indeed on top.
I just want to watch some more games. It was so fun. Either way, wear your DNVR Nuggets gear to Illegal Pete's and have a margarita during happy hour. That's my tip of the week. Boom.
Let's go.
Dwayne's
not here, by the way. Shout out, Dwayne. Hope you're feeling better, my guy.
Yeah. Send out positive vibes to our guy, Dwayne.
Yeah, he's going through some small things, but still.
We're thinking
not
about
small, because everything's big if you're going through it.
We're thinking about you. All right, let's hop into this U.S. men's national team game last night.
I mean, this is what I wanted to get your opinion more than me, because we watched it more.
Yeah.
Are they that good, or is that team just like really bad?
Well, yes, that St. Kitts and Nevis is not a quality. They're not going to make the Hex. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to be. There's no danger of them winning games, right? That being said, this is USC team.
I would say B.
Maybe B. Parts of B. Parts of C.
I'd go B.
There's definitely some guys that aren't going to play any other tournament besides this one.
See, the thing is, I like a Busio, I like a Ferreira. Vazquez is on it. Like these are players that are either lower level Europe or on their way to Europe in the next 2 years.
It's funny that like this game is like, I think this guy's good when he does well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's very positively validating.
Yeah.
Right. And if you didn't do well against a team like St. Kitts and Nevis, I don't really assume that you had a bad game. I assumed that you knew who you were playing and didn't really try that much.
That's what I was thinking. Like you can't take out I really think this is the only takeaway I think you can personally have as a fan of any team that does this to like a way lower level team is you played a bad team, you dominated as you were supposed to do, you did the right thing, now just kind of move on. Yeah. There's not a lot of things you can actually take away, I think, until you face like maybe an Honduras or El Salvador.
Look, like Ferreira's goals were nice.
Yeah.
Mailovic getting 2, Love to see that. That's a
course.
guy you want to see contribute, right?
Yeah, but
That's the thing is especially like a guy who Ferreira, who has scored a lot of goals for the U.S., right?
Yep.
Like, but there's so much competition. Balogun coming in, Vazquez getting a goal last game. Like you know, there's a lot of names at striker for the U.S. in the mix for 26. Like a lot. Having a hat trick in your pocket in a cup game, even if it's St. Kitts and Nevis, I still think is huge for him.
I think you're right there, because at the end of the day, when you look at stats, you're not going to look at competition. Most people don't. Most people just look at who won, by how much, who scored.
Right.
And that's about it. And I also think the biggest thing with this team is you have to now watch. Now you have 2 games under your belt. A horrible 1-1 draw that could have been a 2-1 loss against Jamaica if it wasn't for Matt Turner saving that penalty.
Brick wall, dude. Secretary of Defense Part 2. Let's go.
Let's just call him something else. General of militia or something.
I like that.
I think has to be a little bit different. But
General Turner.
General Turner is actually pretty good.
Let's go.
General in command.
You're right. Logan, you're right. It's expected. A win was expected. Is 6-0 expected?
Exactly.
Because they could have scored those first 3 goals in the first 16 minutes and just shelled up, kicked the ball around. They could have done whatever they wanted. They're right that it should have scored 10. You should have scored probably 20. But at a certain point, sportsmanship is involved and health, fitness. You don't want to risk anything when you don't need it.
Yeah.
+6 in that goal differential now is huge after the draw with Jamaica. I don't know. I think overall it's one of those ones to be happy about.
Yeah, and that's why I say, like, I'm not taking anything away from the U.S. because they don't deserve to have anything taken away. Yeah. They did what they were supposed to do. It's not their fault. They played a lesser opponent.
Yes.
They did the right thing. Everybody looked good. If you didn't look good, it was basically just because they dominated. So that's why it's just kind of like you can't do much. Like, I think now you got to look at both games. What went wrong against Jamaica? And how were you able to bounce back against Nevis and not make it a tight game like Canada did against Guadalupe?
It's also so weird that Berhalter's not just coaching this.
Yeah, and that is extremely strange.
Right? Like, what's the point?
People were also saying Berhalter out yesterday, and I'm like, he's not even playing. He's not even coaching.
And they won 6-0. Look, we're going to be happy about it. We're going to move on. We're going to see them again against Trinidad and Tobago.
That, I think, is going to be a more interesting game.
I was at the Trinidad and Tobago U.S. game at Dick's 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, around there.
Maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah, that seems about right.
That was fun as hell. Pulisic brace.
That's when it was a young Pulisic.
Too. I think they're going to smoke them this time. So
I don't. There's the thing. I think it's going to be interesting because Trinidad and Tobago brings the same elements that Jamaica does, which is speed.
Yeah, but U.S. is a fast team too.
It is, but that speed got the U.S. against Jamaica.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they learned. It's not as talented as Jamaica, of course. Jamaica's maybe like the 5th best team in CONCACAF. Like maybe it's them, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Honduras all fighting for that top 5 spot.
Right.
Kind of. But I do think it will give a chance for the U.S. to kind of practice in case they do see like a Jamaica, in case they do see a fast El Salvador team. Like, I think that's going to be the more interesting for me. It's how they handle that speed, even if you are pretty fast yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, if they want to go fast, they still have Yedlin, to put it outside back. They have, I think this is one where the U.S. is going to roll out a lineup that they don't really care how the other team is lining up, how the other team is playing, what formation they're throwing out. I think they are really trying to see where the fringes of the roster are going to be at in these upcoming in Copa in 2026,
like Gold Cup, which will have like CONMEBOL and UEFA and AFCON and everybody come in.
I think it matters that you're getting good performances out of a guy like Mailovic, Ferreira, Reynolds. And you're probably not going to see Aaron Long or Yedlin or Turner or Miles Rout. You're not going to see these guys spend as much time on the field in this tournament because they brought all these other guys that are starting to see if they can have an impact, like a Cade Cowell, Brandon Vazquez.
It does feel like it's more of a depth kind of.
It's like a prove that you deserve to be involved in this next few rounds of roster selection.
Exactly. Yeah, and again, I'm all for it. I think the U.S. has the deepest pool, and maybe
They really do.
they might have as deep as a pool as maybe even France. Maybe not as talented.
Right, not as top-end talented, obviously,
but well, even maybe down in the ranks. They might not have like high-end youngsters.
It almost reminds me of like a Belgium before they really saw the peak of their powers. You know, like young De Bruyne.
This is a lot actually who I think of when I think of the USMNT. I think a lot of Belgium. The golden era of Belgium. It feels a lot like the golden era of the USMNT.
Sign me up, baby.
I mean,
sign me up.
I don't know if you want that.
Number one in the world, baby.
They didn't win anything.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't
know if you want that, like all that hype with nothing to show for it. That's my biggest thing. When I do see him, like when I see a De Bruyne, I see like a Musa. When I see an Axel, I see a Tyler Adams. I see all these guys that really could come up and be dudes. Eden Hazard looks starting to feel a lot like Pulisic, honestly. Shows up a little bit more for international than club sometimes, and not always their fault.
You know who I like out of this group a lot? Dwan Jones from the Revs.
I haven't really seen him play. Is he pretty
left
good?
Back, speed. I mean,
future Rapid.
God, yeah. Could we get a left back, please? Yeah, that'd be awesome. I don't know. He's just an interesting. I mean, that left back role. I feel so bad for Sammy breaking his leg before the World Cup because he would probably be starting in.
He is a 2021 Gold Cup winner.
Yeah,
against Mexico in that Las Vegas.
Yep,
against Tata Martino in Mexico, and it was Berhalter. He was penciled in to be part of all these kind of rounds.
He played he started and played well in the last 2 games before the World Cup.
He might have gone to the World Cup if it wasn't for that leg. It really might have been.
So I wish he was able to get these, some minutes in with this group. I liked Cade Cowell. I liked James Sands. Look, this was a workmanlike domination, and kind of maybe you wanted him to turn it on a little bit. But do I think Jamaica will put up 6 on St. Kitts? No.
No, they'll put up 7.
I don't think they'll put up 4.
No, I don't either, dude. The thing is, this is why I say, you did what you had to do. You did the right thing. That's why I'm not knocking them. It's not their fault.
That's actually a really good point. And that dates all the way back to Timmy Chandler from Logan there. Right? That's kind of the guy I think of as the outside back. Check out this guy. We got Timmy Chandler, dude. He hasn't featured in 4 tournaments or something.
Yeah, still got Joe out there too.
Yeah. And then Yedlin, of course, was kind of the speed factor where we're like, oh, we can hang with anybody. Yeah. Back when he was in England the first go around with Newcastle.
What was I gonna say? There was something that came to my mind. No, there was just something that came to my mind when we were talking about who's the most likely Rapid to go to the USMNT Gold Cup or any squad here?
It's probably Cole.
So let's say it's Cole, Yappy, and Baudry.
Not Yappy.
Well, let's say
it's not Yappy.
Let's say Colorado kid that's come through the academy. So let's put Sammy Vines. Sammy Vines, Baudry, Yappy, and Bassett. Those are your 4 guys that you're looking at.
Who do I think is most likely to get a cap? I would say it's for sure Bassett, then Sammy. No, scratch that.
I think it's Sammy,
then Bassett, then Baudry, then Yappy. And then I think in terms of who do I think could get the most caps out of those is Baudry.
But yeah, I think especially with this goalkeeper core kind of getting older for the USMNT squad.
I mean, is he better than Horvath? He's certainly not as physically imposing as Horvath.
Well, he's also just 17.
Yeah, but he isn't big. He's not Abe size, but he isn't big. It's not, you see a guy like Yarby and Irwin and these big, physically
dudes,
imposing. But I think he has a ton of skill. He's already been playing big minutes in CONCACAF championships for the U17s and stuff like that. So I would probably put him in there. I
don't know, man. I still have hope in Yappy. I think this year Yappy was adapting.
Maybe.
I really do think Yappy didn't play.
Well, look, and I don't think it has to do with Yappy.
No,
I think it has to do with the Vazquez, Ferreira, Balogun. There's so many.
Who would be the next up after that list, in your opinion? Would it be the redhead
Sargent?
I
mean, Sargent definitely gets minutes. What's his name in
P-Folk?
P-Folk in Berlin.
Yeah, Pepe.
Pepe. See, look, there's a lot. I know.
The more I think about it, holy, that is a deep striker
pool. And you
pool.
can only bring 3 to 4 of them.
I will say this. Deep striker pool, only about 2 guys in there, in my opinion.
In terms of what?
That could actually make impact. Good players. I think they're all really good players.
Yeah, but
I think
at
there's
what
only
level
two.
are you saying specifically? Because I
At
think
international level. I'm talking international. Only 2 players I think that can come in and actually push the U.S. over the top.
I mean, it's Balogun.
Balogun, but
Balogun.
I also think Vazquez.
Those
Those are the 2 guys that I think can actually come in and make a difference.
I was screaming for Vazquez before the World Cup.
No, you were all in on Vazquez. He would have been better than who's the other kid they took? That it was between Pepe and him.
They took Sargent. They took Ferreira. Oh, in Turkey, the guy that everybody else hates, even though he led the U.S. in scoring for the year.
Who was it?
I'm blanking now, and I sound like a terrible.
You know them better than I do, so I'm defaulting to you. If it was Mexico,
I can't believe I can't remember this.
He's looking up. He's looking up Turkey.
Antalya Spor striker.
He's looking
American. Haji Wright.
Haji Wright. There you go.
Jesus. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Should we do? Yeah, let's do it now. Let's do our last ad read. We'll get into some rapid stuff and some Western Conference trade. Trades, transactions, etc. Dang, we got 2 more. All right. Our friends. Usually we do these guys first. That's weird. We're gonna talk about Shady Rays, my guy.
I'm shaded up.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
People, dude, I feel like these make me look like a baseball player.
For sure.
It makes me look like I do know ball.
You know ball.
I can probably not do a ground out anymore at this age. My back might go out.
I could ground out for sure.
I also don't think I'm going
so bad at baseball.
Dude, the thing is, I'm afraid. I used to play baseball as a kid all the time. I'm afraid I might get effed up. But
I would always ground out to shortstop every time, dude. I'm so bad. I'm the worst hitter on the planet.
Maybe I can't get a ground
I swing
ball.
at everything. There's no pitch I won't swing at.
Makes you look like a character from Rocket. That's actually true. Mitch has never seen a pitch that he doesn't like.
Never, dude. I'm yoking bombs, but usually just grounding out to shortstop. Hey, either way, what's most important about playing baseball in the sun is making sure you're protecting these guys like you're doing right now.
These are going to be really good reflective.
Oh, yeah.
These are anti-sun.
You take on that sun with gear built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered for the warm weather ahead with premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as any expensive pair we've worn, durable frames, and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. You could snap those right now, dude, in half, and they'd replace them for free.
Because I love them.
I don't know. I don't think they actually would replace those if you did that.
Especially with video evidence.
Yeah. So don't do that. But wear them with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. If you lose them or break them, they'll replace them. With their customers, Shady Rays is providing much needed support to nonprofit partners across the U.S. through Shady Rays Impact, from building play sets for pediatric cancer patients to providing young adults with MS the outdoor adventure of a lifetime. Shady Rays is making an impact in your community and others like it now and for years to come. You can shop the entire collection at their brand new location, Park Meadows Mall. A full stop shop for all things Shady Rays. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back. Shady Rays Independence Day sale is live right now. Go to shadyrays.com. Get up to 50% off. 50% off. Aaron Gordon % off. That's crazy.
Dude, it is actually... So a lot of people got free sunglasses in this company. I went to go buy these because I loved them so much.
You look great.
I bought 2 pairs and I loved them.
You look
I
amazing.
Feel like a Power Ranger.
You look like a Power Ranger.
If I wear these and then do my turbo joint, I can just say turbo time, and I'm like I'm like the Power Rangers.
Turbo joint. Shady Rays Independence Sales. I already said that. It's live right now. Go to shadyrays.com. Get up to 50% off single pairs of sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 Rapids by Yahir. Boom.
The ultimate rapid boy. I am the
ultimate. I am the burgundy boy.
I'm Rapids man. I'm Rapid man's sidekick. Rapid boy.
You're just this little bucket of water.
I'm the drop.
You're like a bucket of water with a smiley face on it.
I am the drop that will make everything disastrous.
That's amazing. Let's talk Western Conference transfers. How do you feel about that?
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
You're going to have to carry the transfers in a little bit more because you're a little bit more.
There's really just two teams that I think have made like real offensive additions recently.
Okay.
We've sort of already hit on it with RSL, right? Adding Chicho, who we both love, way high on.
I hate that move. I hate it because it's a good move and it sucks.
But they also added this kid Palacio to their under 22 initiative.
I saw that.
This Colombian kid. He looks good.
I have a gripe with that.
Okay.
And I think it comes to the U22 initiative.
Right.
I think it's stupid.
Okay.
I think you should just be able to get the kid without having to get that stupid roster spot.
Sure.
And I think you should just be able to put him into your academy or wherever you want him and just go from there. I think the U22 initiative is stupid. I just think it's stupid. I hate it. Like, I don't get it. Max was part of it. Like, I just don't like it. I don't understand it.
I can't get over it.
If someone performs the triple crown of DNVR Rapids ad read, will Merchant provide the DNVR swag, buy a herb, throw on the Shady Rays, eat an illegal pizza burrito?
Yes.
That is actually a great way to spend a Saturday night.
Yes. The answer is yes, I will do that.
And honestly, you could literally do that while listening to the Rapid Show on Saturday nights, and it would be an elite DNVR member.
You're the best. Keep it up. Yeah, this RSL thing, I just, I don't. It's not like Palacio has a ton of minutes and goals everywhere else, but it just seems like another strong move from him.
And again, it's a good move, dude. Like, again, I just don't like the U22 initiative, but that's like completely
that's how they
different.
got Max.
Yeah, and look what happened.
We don't know that.
But I still don't like it. We also got
we know that.
Yeah, we also got Gustavo Garcia. That way, look where he's at.
Yeah.
So I don't like that one thing. Like, but I think Palacios could be a guy with these young kids coming from South America. It's really hard to see who they are. It's extremely difficult because you either are getting you're either gonna get a Cifuentes, you're gonna get a guy like that who's super well. Like, you're gonna get a good kid. You might get a Mosquera that's out in Portland, and be like, oh, I got the cream of the crop. Or you might get a Max, you might get a Gustavo, and then you're kind of screwed. And then you're like, well, now I'm using this special roster spot for a guy that's not playing, or something happened.
Right.
And that's why that's the one reason. But I just hate that it's RSL and there's a chance that he might actually be good.
Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty good. The other move I saw this week that came through is Minnesota. The Loons getting Icelandic legend and Norwich legend Timu Pukki.
I love that name.
Oh, he's amazing. He's great. He was on that super fun Icelandic team in the Euros in France.
Oh, that went kind of far.
Yeah, that like was kind of their Cinderella run. He's super fun. Look, he's seasoned, right? He's played a career and now he's here. But I don't necessarily care about Minnesota adding Pukki. I don't think that makes them some crazy dangerous team. But what I do see is a trend of rival Western teams who we feel the Rapids should be either competing with or better.
Oh, me and Mitch immediately on our computer.
You're right. He's finished. You're right.
Are we lying?
No. I must have had him mixed up with somebody else. Either way, he's been at Norwich for a long time. Scores goals.
Any chance I get to say poo and not get in trouble like Pookie, I'm all for.
Look, everyone is adding goal scorers, right? These are finishers. These are guys that have a track record of putting the ball in the back of the net. And
it feels like they are loading up. I will say about Minnesota that there was a lot of rumors that they were. I love the way they're throwing out their net and trying to see who they can get. They got a guy from Honduras. Mm-hmm. They were looking at Japan and Korea for strikers, and then they went all the way to Finland to go get a the
English championship.
Yeah, but still, they went out to Europe to go. Correct. Like, it's all the same thing, basically.
Right.
It's like all the same.
Right.
It's like saying U.S. It's all like the same.
Sure.
Like, but that's my thing. It's so incredible to me, like, that they're actually throwing such a wide net.
They've done a really good job of that,
and that's kind of what you have to do if you're a team that doesn't have a bunch of money. But I think that's the way they should be doing it.
I was thinking of Gylfi Sigurdsson.
That's who you're thinking of.
Keep going.
I do but like that's about it. I think Minnesota's doing the right thing. They're sending an expansive net and trying to look all over the world. And I think it's mostly like that's what the Rapids should be looking at. And I feel like they've kind of gotten stuck in 2-3 markets, and they're like, well, everything's too expensive. Spend money. Like
Pookie's a guy I've always liked. I don't think he's going to be like a 25 or 30 point or 30 goal scorer. You know, I think he can be a 15 to 20 goals, 15 goal scorer, something like that, like in a Rubio range. I guess my point is there a market for Rubio if they are hitting the reset button and sending vets out? Does this diminish the market for Rubio, right? Do you see these moves and think I have to go better than Diego Rubio, or will a team talk themselves into a Diego Rubio sale based on last year's production?
The thing is, the MLS is such a weird league to play in.
Right.
Players come in, they're like, it's more competitive than it's more physical, it's faster. I think what's going to happen here is a team, like I hate to say it, like Seattle, who buys veteran players who have been good on other teams are gonna knock on Colorado's door and be like, hey, how much do you want for Rubio? 500 gam? All right, here you go.
Yeah. Oh, well, we'll take them off your hands.
I think that's gonna happen, and I think that's what they should be doing, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Rubio guy. We're all Rubio guys. We've talked to Rubio multiple times, and honestly, it's not even for the club's sake. It's for Rubio's. He deserves better. He's a player.
I think it's both. I think the club needs to get rid of every high priced vet they have.
Yeah, and you're completely right. But to me, it's when I say they should get rid of Rubio, it's not because he's been bad. It's because I want to see Rubio succeed.
It's because what's Rubio do for this team? Now, we've seen the fully optimized version of this team for the last 18 months, and I think a guy like Rubio, and then you get into other guys like Keegan, and who I never want them to sell ever, Mr. Rapid. But again, you see guys, and they can go be pieces on any of these playoff teams. 2/3 of the league is going to be a playoff team. You're telling me someone doesn't want to add one of the most solid right backs in the league? Someone doesn't want to pay for a 15 goal scorer in Rubio? Like, there's going to be a market for these guys. Now, are they going to get, what Norwich got for Pookie? Are they going to get what Pachuca's got for Chicho?
They're not going to get anything near any of that.
Could they break $1 million for him? Yeah, probably.
And this is my thing. Rubio, I'm not conflicted on. I think he should leave, and it's for his own good. He's done everything he could for the club. He did what he had to do, and it's not working. To not his fault. He tried his hardest. He's the winner. It just weren't able to win. I think the next guy you got to look at, unfortunately, is Keegan.
No,
and there's my thing. I'm gonna make two cases. Keegan would be the next guy because you have Seb Anderson. You got to see what you have. You got to start planning for the future. A little bit older, and I want to see Keegan win. Keegan is just a guy that I like to succeed. Another guy that I just cheer for because of the guy he is.
He's such a good dude. He's such a good player. He's so reliable and steady. Will play every minute. It would be dumb to turn down $1 million+ figure for him.
But this is my thing. How serious are you about winning? You keep Keegan because he's a culture guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't want them to sell Keegan.
No, neither do I. But he's a player that might be too good for this team.
I think that's a really good point, actually.
And it's
like a really good point.
But like, let's say he's too good, but you can keep him around and have him be your.
I don't know if he wants to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, like if he doesn't want to leave, you keep him around. You say thank you, you're a legend, and you put him up there with the Connor Caseys, the Bibes, even if he doesn't win, it doesn't matter. None of those guys did either. You keep him up there because he's a legend. He's a club legend. He's a Drew Moore. He is that guy.
He is that guy, dude.
He
really is that guy. He's so dope.
That's the thing. That's what Keegan becomes because Keegan has been here through good and bad.
But that's why I get scared that he's going to leave is because he is that guy.
Exactly, and that's the issue. And it's nothing against Keegan. If he leaves, I'm going to be so happy, and I want him to go to a contender so he can succeed because I cheer for his success. But if the Rapids decide to move on, it makes sense because you also have a Seb Anderson. You want to start brand new, and it's not his fault. Right. So Rubio and him are in the exact same spot.
Yep.
And those are the two guys that you look at, and it's going to hurt to get rid of, but those are the guys that might be able to help you the most and go either they're going to be great culture guys or you're going to open up spot. And then you look at Sam Nicholson, he should go. And it has nothing to do, he just hasn't been good enough, and you need another guy
But he has been good enough to sell.
Exactly. Not good enough to win, good enough to be a piece on another team.
Correct.
Go take him to Cincinnati and have him be a guy off the bench. He's going to be great. Same thing with Mikey Barrios. Put Mikey out in LA he's going to be a great player. Put Mikey out in Austin, and he might push him to the next level. Put Mikey out in St. Louis, and he might be great.
Lewis is another name like that, where there's a profile where a team with one of these teams that already maybe brought in a striker, right? Maybe it is a Minnesota, maybe it is a RSL that sees
maybe it's a New England that needs wingers,
right. But says, well, if Lewis can get it to our good striker, our giant physical striker that the Rapids haven't had in the same way, like we think our attacking group around him would be better than he's ever played with, I could 100% see a team talk themselves into Lewis.
And that's the thing. Like, the one player out of all this that I think you should get rid of, and it comes down to one thing. This player has to be gone. If one player is going to leave, it has to be Cabral.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not, but the one player that has to leave. Buy him out. Do whatever you got to do. He's taking up minutes and not producing at all.
Tough minutes, too.
And also,
tough minutes.
He's going to have a rough go at it if he stays any longer.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And I really do believe mentally he's not going to be okay.
What do you do? I mean, do you hope that like a League 2 in France is looking for him? Like, what do you like? What's the pitch there?
This is the pitch. You send him out to Mexico.
Like a loan deal to Mexico?
Not even a loan deal, dude. They have money to spend. A team like Atlas, a team out there that can buy into something like this.
Tigres, maybe.
No, not Tigres. Tigres is too good for him.
I think he's someone's gonna talk themselves.
Tigres is the best team in North America.
Yeah.
So not Tigres. It would be like an Atlético, a San Luis. It would
Cruz Azul,
La Pumas, a Tijuana, a Juarez. Like,
Tijuana, shout out. That's my Liga MX team. I decided, by the way. I know we talked about it for a whole episode, but that's where I landed.
Let's go. But again, these are that you can send out to a Toluca, maybe somebody that can like help them out there. Maybe that's just what you have to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the one player that has to leave. Mm-hmm. Yarby, I think, should stay just because he's a goalkeeper and they have such a large shelf. And like, I think you can just keep him for until Boldry's ready to go in 2 years.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Rapid fire. You say yes or no. That's it. That's all you get. Yes or no, and we'll wrap up this segment. Stay or go. You're not saying yes or no. You're saying stay or go.
Okay.
Quick prediction. Rubio.
Go.
Barrios.
Go.
Lewis.
Go.
Selling off the whole team. Yarby.
Stay.
Danny Wilson.
Go.
Brian Acosta.
Stay.
Keegan.
Go. That one hurt my heart a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I felt the little chest pain.
The air got heavy in here when you did that, man.
That one hurt a little bit. I don't want it to go. I love you, Keegan, so much. Don't leave.
Cabral.
Go. 100%.
That's what you want to happen, not your prediction for what will happen.
Prediction for that one, yeah. I think stay.
Stay.
He's going to stay.
I think that's it for now. I think everyone else is... we all kind of know who... Lawless.
Go. You need to see what Michael Everett has. I love Lawless is another guy that I love. Great dude. But you just... Again, your age and your quality is not matching up.
Man, this is brutal, bro.
I can keep going. Sam Nicholson, go.
Oh, yeah. You're right. I forgot about Sam.
Beta, go.
No, keep Beta.
He's leaving.
Yeah.
He's either retiring or leaving.
He just wants to hang. He's there for the hangs and the vibes, dude. Let him hang.
He might just leave because he's like, I'm retiring. I'm done losing.
Fair enough. Price option at the end of the year? Decline?
Pick up.
Wow.
You pick it up because if you want a veteran that is a PID, Burgundy.
Oh, I mean, like, you don't have to sell me on the reasons to keep Price around.
You know which one I want. You guys aren't going to hate it. One that might have to go is Maxu.
Nope. All right, that's gonna wrap up today's show. Okay, you got a heart out. You got a heart out.
Real quick,
I want to make sure we hit it.
No, real quick.
Okay,
we got it. Real quick. If you do get rid of Maxu, it would just be because of money that you can get a good price for him, and then you can flip it for something else that can help you out. I love Maxu. There's nothing again. This is nothing personal against these guys or even their play.
Logan, that's what's up, my guy.
Maxu might just be a guy that leaves because he's again 28. Wouldn't be matching your next timeline. Depending who you bring in.
You can reset timelines, man.
You can, but again, 28. Like, and then your midfield is like an average of 23.
You need someone to teach Bombi the ways.
Again, see, people are hating me, and again, I don't think Max should leave. But I
No,
love
you
Max.
need him and Bombi together.
My biggest issue with it is just more timeline. And if you can get a good deal,
But you
on
have
it,
him for 4 years.
well, don't you think that somebody's gonna go out there and try to be like, "Hey, man, we'll give you $1 million." You're not gonna be like, "Yeah, man, should I get rid of this guy for $1 million? Kind of make up with the money you lost on Max."
Everyone says no. That's right. Good job, guys. All right. Yeah. Plug us out of here.
DNV_Rapids on Twitter. My Twitter handle is actually Yahir _Vazquez_. If you want to tell me how stupid I am, I'm more than happy to hear you out multiple times a week. My DMs are open if you guys want to talk. 5-star review wherever you hear us, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, any of that.
Yep.
Give us a 5-star review, please.
5.
We really appreciate that. 5 Rapids, but they don't count Rapids in
They
those
only
apps.
count stars.
So count stars.
Correct.
Hit the like button on your way out. That would really help us out. And tell a Rapids fan about us. They might enjoy talking a little BS.
Hit that like. Make sure you get your Die Hard membership at thednvr.com. Gets you discount at the bar, gets you discount on merch, gets you free merch, gets you early access tickets, gets you behind the paywall, gets you into the Discord, the Madden League, maybe a FIFA League.
Who knows?
Look, all that stuff, man. You know the drill. It's all important. We all want your support, and we appreciate every bit of support that you have. Like, subscribe, interact with us on the Twitters. More important than all of that, the same thing we say at the end of every single one of these shows. Up the pits.